Hello everybody and welcome to the POTcast. I'm your host Rhaanon Havoc and I'm joined by my co-hosts Berit the Duck God and my brother Loki.
What's up?
Before we get this started off, first of all, today we're going to be talking about alternative cosmogony. Don't remember what that is at all, but that was your idea, Berit.
Alright.
Let's see. Origins of life, secret societies, Bohemian Grove, and the influence of government fucking bullshit on people.
Every day.
Sorry we missed our fucking deadline that I set for us, but life's a little stupid, and that's okay, because sometimes it happens. Not everybody can be the guys from South Park and only miss one deadline, right?
Yeah.
So this will be going up on Saturday instead. Because we suck.
Didn't they get like bitched out for one deadline being missed?
No. Trey Parker and Matt Stone didn't get bitched out for missing a deadline. They probably bitched themselves out.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
As always, before we get this started, we're going to smoke a bizzle.
A diddly bowl. A
Oh, you got some?
bowlography.
I've only got a bowl, so.
Yes, man.
Yeah, good luck. It's silicone. Everything except for the bowl.
So, why is it, sir?
Hey, we're in.
Did you stop it?
Yeah.
Restart it?
Yeah.
Completely restart
No,
it?
it didn't restart, dude.
Okay,
So when you hit the stop button, it just fucking pauses the segment.
Stop
and
button.
you can either save the segment or continue recording on it, man. It's actually kind of fucking cool. I enjoy this app a lot.
Hell yeah. Well, I was wondering your opinion on it. Why does the government allow everything that will kill you, but nothing that is like okay for your body?
It's another way to control the masses.
Yeah, the government wants people weak. They want people easy to control. If you're sick and constantly injured, you're going to be easier to control.
If your senses are dampened by not having these enlightening substances in your life, then you're also going to be easier to control because your IQ is lower. People who smoke pot tend to have higher IQs. People who use psychedelics as well.
Yeah, but do you think that's because they smoke pot, or do you think people with higher IQs just have the tendency to smoke pot?
It can be both. It can be both. There's certain people who actually learn better when they're high.
Yeah.
And there's certain people who fucking get high because they want to not be as smart. There's some people who get high because they are smart.
Yeah, like me. I usually partially get high to contain the sheer rampant thoughts, so I'm not constantly, hyper-analyzing everything around me and disassembling the secrets of the universe.
You use it to regulate the dopamine in your brain, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I use it for. It's an ADHD thing.
So just keep unraveling everything if I don't have some
Are they
pot
shooting
to
off
smoke,
fireworks
man.
or are they shooting off guns? No, it's echoing. It's fireworks.
It depends on the caliber of gun. It can still echo. I've heard it plenty.
That's true, but usually this far away they don't echo like that.
The 45 will.
I don't know. That sounded like kind of like.
That's right. First, Second, and Third Amendment rights.
Fireworks.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember the Third Amendment at all.
Freedom of the press.
Is that one freedom of the press?
I believe so.
So what's the fourth one?
Fourth Amendment. Ah, fuck.
See, the difference between me and Berit is he actually paid attention in high school.
Yeah, no, I had enough knowledge I could have gone into civics legitimately.
You were thinking about it too.
Hell, the fucking school SRO thought I was gonna go into politics. That was hilarious. I was in there like, no, I've been pursuing engineering this whole time. What the fuck made you think I was gonna be a politician just because I'm good at talking? Like,
Man.
what?
You think it's all just like one
Oh
lane,
shit,
man.
420 on the timer.
Nah, we're 4 minutes and 20 seconds in. How to take another hit. I'll load it.
I didn't realize that it got cached already.
It's about cached. Check out my fucking little clipboard,
Could've
man.
smoked it, man.
It opens
yeah.
up. Little dash compartment, and I wrote the POTcast all over it.
Do you think all stoners say man a lot, or is that just like...
I think that's the hippie generational thing.
Yeah, like...
A lot of stoners say
man.
dude.
Yeah,
Raw,
dude,
dude,
man,
man.
bro. Like,
Yeah, man.
I say Dudeski.
I
That's
think
my
it was
favorite one
Cheech
to
and
use.
Chong.
Hey, Dudeski.
I think it had to have been Cheech and
El
Chong.
Duderino. Dudeski, El Duderino.
No, I'm the dude. You're Lebowski.
I don't think the audience knows us well enough to make that connection at all. Hey, give me that lighter.
They better fucking make
They better fucking recognize. You know, there's only 4 people who watched this so far.
hey, now I'm here. Rating's gonna go up, I guarantee you.
Word'll do a flip.
Okay, Berit, so while I'm loading this up, you want to explain to us what the fuck alternative cosmogony is?
Alright.
I fucking almost said it backwards.
Alternative cosmogony are... So, to begin, cosmogony by itself is the basic theories, usually religiously based on how everything came to be. The origin of the universe, life, existence, everything. You know, you've got crazy examples of it. The fucking, you know, Japanese, if I remember right, their entire cosmogony is basically that the island of Japan was born into the eternal ocean by gods coming in the water.
That's amazing. Like,
Just
jizzing,
flat out, just
like
the island of Japan
like
is
busting
a
nuts
jizz
into the
stain
water.
from a god. I wish I was making this up. I mean, then you go over to Norse mythology, and like everything was basically born from a giant cow licking away at a salt block floating in space to reveal the first dwarf, who then procreated with the cow to create the rest of the dwarves and begin the gods and make everything to come into being. And Ymir,
what I want to know is, why is there so much bestiality in fucking goddamn, like, just basic myth, all the myths, like fucking Greek mythology, they have so much fucking bestiality. Norse mythology, fucking the world was born from bestiality. Like, what the fuck is that, man? Where did all that come from?
Well,
like,
man,
have we
just
just been
imagine-
animal fuckers this whole time?
I
Just
think
imagine like a human though, like the first human. They were like sitting there, like came out of the grass.
Well, most of these Bibles that I've read have been written to just kind of justify general badness towards other people, you know. And it's like basically it justifies rape culture.
yeah.
And it's not cool.
like before language, like he's figured out in his head the first time he's just sitting there. He figured out in his head like how words work, you know, like that's a tree, or like, you know, the sky, or like, you know, they're sitting there eating some mushrooms and they're like, holy shit, right? And they start, but you know, they don't have words for that yet.
He's talking about how like when we came up with these words for shit, like, and we came up with these gods and like the ways that they created the world, like he's talking about general ideas of like how that came to be.
Yeah, how did the creation happen?
Basically, you're talking about like how in Greek mythology, fucking Earth was Earth is being held up by Atlas.
Yeah.
So, Greek mythology, the cosmogony actually starts all the way back with chaos, the great endless void.
Right.
Then from chaos was born the 5 children.
The Titans.
No, the primordial gods. You have Nyx, the goddess of night. You had... Okay, it was Nyx, Erebus. Erebus is the god of darkness. You had Gaia, the earth.
Right.
If I remember right...
Okay, now hold on. I think Gaia came from the Latin, right?
No.
No?
No, Gaia was also the Greek name.
Because it came from Mesopotamia. Gaia was the Mesopotamian name for Earth as well.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember the other 2, though. There was 2 more that came with it. I think it was... Ooh. Eros...
Well, I've always heard that Greek myth led with 3s, kind of like the Holy Trinity does.
Not in the very beginning of things. That's
Okay.
the fun part about Greek mythology, is a lot of it is based on perception, but if you're going off of, what is the specific title for it? I think it's the Heliod version.
The Iliad.
No, Heliod.
No, Heliod? Oh, well, that would make sense.
It's
Because, I mean, that's how a lot of religions and scientists say that fucking Earth started out as. It was basically a breathing hell
but
floating through space.
so you had Eros, which was god of love and beginning.
And discord.
Yeah. And then there was one more, and that one I genuinely cannot remember at the moment. But basically, they started kind of having children with each other.
Wasn't he the god of man?
No, that was Prometheus.
No, Prometheus was the first
No,
half-blood, wasn't he?
Prometheus was the one who took the sacred flame, the flame of knowledge, that gave life to man after he formed them out of clay.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Man, I fucking need to fucking brush up on my shit, dude. It's been a while. You remember
All
back
the
in
gods.
high school how I was like,
Dude.
dude, Greek myth is the shit. This is
Whole
how everything
bunch of
came to
shit,
be.
right?
Obviously, it's been fucking
Well, you know,
years since then. I dropped out at
Like,
what,
if you're
15?
thinking
So
of
it's
them
been
as, like,
no, I dropped out at 16. So it's been fucking 7 years since I've even been in high school.
Could I get a sip of that?
Oh, yeah, man, go for it. So, like, what I'm thinking is okay, so this is how the world came to be, not life, right?
Yeah, I guess that's the other part. Alternative basically
Well, I was
means
just gonna start at
different
life, man.
theories
Right.
on how everything came to be.
It basically
Whether it just be-
has to do with discussing theories.
Yeah,
Do you
it's
think? I'm just
discussing theories and our own personal thoughts on how everything exists.
Okay, so do you want to hear my thoughts on how human life came to be?
Sure.
Okay, so how did we make the jump from monkey people to hairless apes?
words.
Right, because there's no way we just like suddenly stopped losing our hair unless something came and genetically
No, it was-
engineered us, like rearranged
it
our
was
genetics
words.
to fucking lose the hair, right? So here's what I'm thinking, man. So we have all this fucking like, all this shit that like just looks like alien life, all these monuments and shit in ancient civilizations that don't really fucking exist
Yeah,
anymore,
yes.
like the pyramids of South America, the Maya, was it the Mayans or was it the
Maya,
Hopis? Incas, the fucking ones that made the
and
pyramids.
Aztec.
Down inside of the pyramids, it might have been the Aztecs because the Aztecs were the biggest. It might have been the Aztecs, but down in the underbellies of their fucking pyramids, they actually have those golden cities that you saw in fucking Indiana Jones. And they are these giant fucking like 10-foot tall statues of these like alien looking motherfuckers. Okay, so we got ancient Egypt. I've actually heard of an alien that looks kind of like the Sphinx with the fucking headgear and shit, and the fucking little fucking like Anubis dogs that they've got. Like, so basically, all of the Egyptian gods are based off of the aliens that they fucking had visit them, right? So, how long have aliens been visiting us? This is what I'm asking. How long have aliens been visiting us? Probably since before we became intelligent, right? So, what I'm thinking is they came and they fucked the monkeys.
Yeah.
They crossed their genetics with them, right? And made us. They basically kept fucking reproducing with us. They would come back every civilization and reproduce with us. This is where we get the ideas of demigods and shit.
That makes sense. But also,
Doesn't it?
But also, like, I'm just thinking, whichever person was the first person to have words, like, figure out words.
Yeah.
But they were just sitting there by themselves, like, on this planet while
Okay,
they're
so we
observing.
developed languages actually as a group of people. All
I'm
right,
sure.
we had several different groups of people who spoke several different languages. This was before we were even considered people. Okay, so we're talking Homo habilis, the one right after Homo habilis, sapiens, right? Because we still had the fucking silverback syndrome and shit.
No, sapien is the theoretical next step, if I remember correctly.
No,
because
it's the step we found that came right before humans. It was the missing link that we couldn't find.
I thought that was like Homo civilis or some.
Homo habilis, that's the one before.
No, Sibyllus.
Sibyllus? I don't know.
I
man.
can't remember.
Either way, one of these steps, we started fucking having our own languages and shit. But it was before we were Homo sapien, right before Homo sapien. We started coming up with all these fucking different sounds and words, like words in air quotes, for shit that just like made sense to like, it would make sense to us because we're part of the same tribe, right? But to other people, it wouldn't make sense to them because they're in a different tribe, so fucking, like, 100,000 yards away or what the fuck ever, you know?
So, like, whenever a group of people are sitting around tripping, no one can understand language anymore, but they start making sounds and everyone understands.
Right. But like Lucas was saying, I think it took psychedelic mushrooms to actually make that step.
You know, it might have, or it might not have. Because you have to think that the conditions that we're used to here on Earth are not the same ones that were present back then.
Basically everything
air
back then
itself was more charged with nitrogen, oxygen, shit like that.
This is where the aliens come in, though, man. Like,
but you have to think, what were the effects on the human brain of those chemicals?
Shit? Listen, why would we keep doing shit that fucking puts holes in the ozone if it wasn't for some outside force that needs to come in through the ozone and fucking suck it all out?
I mean,
I'm just saying, you know,
why
like,
there's a hole in the ozone.
There's multiple holes in the ozone.
Yeah.
Why would there be? It's basically permeable at this point.
Yeah,
it's been permeable since the 90s, but
sitting
like,
here in cosmic radiation,
it wasn't fucking like, dude, we're made of fucking the same shit that Stardust is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, functionally, everything in the universe is the same.
But no,
everything's down to the last.
I've actually been watching a lot of videos on this shit. Like, humans are a genetic experiment done by the aliens. I don't remember the chick's name, but she's really old. I shouldn't say really old. She appears to be incredibly old, but she's very skinny, and she comes on like the anonymous HQ channel and shit, and she fucking talks about aliens and their existence and like how there's some sort of secret fucking base on the moon, big ass computer base on the moon. Why else would it fucking perfectly rotate where only one side is facing us?
So, weird fact about that part too. There's been recordings leaked from NASA archives and shit like that of what happened when they landed on the moon. The moon rang like a giant bell.
Yeah.
So who the fuck
for like
recorded it?
Okay, so it was on the second return.
I think
it was actually that there was already a camera pre-positioned there. Whenever they deployed, I think it was the main booster that had ran out of fuel on, you know, the way there.
Yeah.
It hit the moon, and when it hit, the moon began to ring and continued to for multiple hours.
Is this documented?
Yes.
Okay.
This was a theory that I was sitting there watching with my dad, and he actually started like talking about some more of the shit that he'd heard about it, and like provided some of the sources at the time, and everything checked out. Like, I got to watch the supposed footage, and it matched up with everything from the time period. Like,
that's crazy. So what's the moon made of?
That's the thing that's uncertain, I guess.
But we have samples from the moon. How long have we been studying them? Why can't we figure out what the fuck it is? Unless we already have figured it out and they're just not telling us.
The surface and the core are going to be... Yeah. The surface and the core are going to be made out of different substances regardless.
Right. Yes.
Or the core, at least the closest inner layer before it becomes hollow.
Materials burn longer, so they're going to fucking settle down to the center of the liquid.
That is assuming that it's still got a liquid core. If it's truly hollow, it could in fact be... Well,
which would make sense as to why it rang like a bell.
Yeah.
If there was just like, you know, some kind of like center of gravity there in the middle, and the moon's hollow, whatever's in the middle there, when they landed on it, must have just fucking smacked the side of the moon, and that's why it rang so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we were talking about the moon.
Yeah, the hollow moon. We got off all the way off topic to the hollow moon.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. We're gonna love this shit.
Yeah, so... yeah, no.
So on that, hey, you mind telling me what your thoughts are on how we became human, I guess?
Well, I mean...
Or how everything came to be.
I've got thoughts going all the way back to before the universe began, so...
Yeah, me too. Me too. I mean, we can go back that far if you want.
But that was my plan. That's cosmogony. To begin...
Right. I believe in the Big Bang Theory.
I
also believe that it's like colliding in on itself at the same time.
That's kind of where my theory ends up going with things. Of course, I'm about to explain, but
Everybody's got a lighter. Or they should anyway.
It's right there. I see them.
Why didn't anybody bring a lighter but me? Because it's my house, I guess. If you leave a lighter here, guess what? It's gonna end up in this fucking little clipboard right here. Oh, dude. Of course, the duck god keeps it in the back pocket. Why wouldn't he?
because I work construction, less sawdust gets in the back pocket, so it's become a habit to keep.
So there's this older guy that lives in town. I see him riding a bike all the fucking time, and he looks just like a cross between you and Ethan, but like in his 40s.
I might know who you're talking about, actually.
I think he used to work at Walmart.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
And it took me fucking 12 years of friendship to see that shit.
Yeah, that stuff's kind of funny. I think if it's the same one I'm thinking of, his name's Sean. Really cool guy, actually. He runs a Discord channel that does Starfinder.
Can I show you a game?
No, we're in the middle.
We were joined by my son in our backyard.
Yep. Just a little bit of chaos to add into the fun.
Welcome to the POTcast. Hold on, hey son, come here. I want to ask you something.
What?
Do you like your dad more after he's had his medicine or before? After? Can you say that? Can you say that?
I like it. I like my dad after he takes his medicine.
Whoa.
And I like me take my medicine. If not, I'm flipping crazy and mean. When I'm 100% angry, I'm violent. Like a T-Rex or mommy long legs.
And how do I take my medicine?
Smoke it. Like... yeah.
How does it change my mood? What?
It sounds accurate. No, the kid got it. The kid got it.
Yeah, kinda.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely got it.
Look,
Yeah.
when I get enough money for an iguana, I'm definitely buying an iguana, and I'm getting T-Rex coat for its paddock, and
Just a note, he's saying iguanas.
I am. I'm gonna get extra lotto for my daddy for his birthday.
All proceeds from the podcast after episode 5 will be going towards my son's
T-Rex,
iguana.
I'm a Tyrannosaurus. We're planning on taming a T-Rex and all.
Okay, maybe not
so we
all
can
proceeds.
Get a saddle for
Some of the
it so we can
proceeds will go
ride
towards
it.
what rhymes
So
with
we
iguana.
can
Alright.
I love dinosaurs, guys. Bye.
Thank you, Nehemiah.
Alright.
So your thoughts on the origins of life and the universe?
Alright. So
Oh, in the game where you can...
Welcome to the podcast, where we're always off topic.
yep.
We should have called this off topic.
Oh, and just so you know, every
Off
time
topic.
that we say welcome to the podcast, that's because we were just on a pause because, well, the kid interrupted or something else happened. We're a bunch of idiots, a bunch of stupid shit'll happen.
That's what we should have called this show, as a bunch of idiots.
Smoke it.
Alright, Berit.
You're gonna smoke it.
So your thoughts on the origins of life and the universe. Man, this is fun. You know, I could go back and edit this, but like, why would I want to do that?
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be as fun. Alright, so, origins of the universe. Going all the way back to the primordial soup, what the Greeks referred to as chaos, the Nords referred to as Gunungangap. There's so many names for what was nothing. But was it truly nothing? Because, you know, as we understand the laws of physics, You
cannot make something out of nothing.
You cannot. But there's nothing stating that energy cannot turn into matter. So, in the beginning of everything, there was a bunch of energy, free-floating in various frequencies, existing... Just buzzing
Hard
around
as
constantly. But as that energy was buzzing around, it would slowly start to hit each other. It'd start to collide.
Friction
and
causes
slow
it
down.
to slow down.
And as we understand matter, the slower the state, it begins to lower
In density. Or no, it
increases.
increases in
in
density.
density. It lowers in frequency.
Yeah.
And as something lowers in frequency, it's able to change states.
This is the same theory that's in my head.
So, as everything began to slow down, as everything began to form, there was still all the energy out there. But, you know, it seemed to have its own will.
Right.
For some reason, things still did come together. Things became attracted to each other. Gravity formed, and the
very
laws...
strong intention, basically.
Yeah.
Really strong intention.
You know, I'm not gonna say it was
say
God or anything like
Just
that.
some kind of sentient energy that was fucking, like, bouncing around onto itself and just kind of patty caking itself down.
Its intermittent chaos created thought. It created advancement and growth. It allowed things to begin. That's why chaos came first.
You know,
That's why.
We will be joined by Logan here in a few.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
What'd I say?
Alright,
Welcome
so
to the POTcast.
we were on, you know, my theory, and
The energy is condensing down at this point.
yeah, the energy condenses down, but it still seemingly has that will of its own. Something, like, it's not God. God is definitely a human construct. It was a manifestation of why we thought everything came into existence at first, because we had no comprehension of why things exist.
Right. That was sooner than I thought.
But
It's not open and it's not going to
I don't know
open.
about that. Because,
yeah, I've blocked it.
this
You
ain't
gotta
time
go
for
around
your
to the
theory
front.
yet.
listen,
Continue, I will be...
I understand that we probably created, but I think it'd probably be important to be given to this. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yes, so God's a human construct. All gods truly are human constructs because they're just ways that we perceive that massive jumble of energy. Everything sprang forth from the initial chaos and condensed down
but now it's just listening to
into
itself,
existence.
which is this.
In a way, humanity is one form of the eternal chaos looking back on itself in reflection.
Well, that's odd. This is problematic. You just leave that on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, that I was continuing my theory still. Like, things had not wrapped
Oh man,
up.
is Loki out here interrupting?
No. Yeah, so as everything formed, you know, slowly the Earth came to be. Existence, as we know it, slowly began. Earth formed from a mass of decayed energy that turned to mass.
I wouldn't necessarily call it decayed energy.
I would, because it had decayed from its prior form. If you look at it,
still there though.
But if you look at it from the same standpoint as radiation, which is also energy,
And if there wasn't still
decay
kinetic energy, we wouldn't still be orbiting the sun.
decay
But
does not.
But does that kinetic energy actually come from the sun, or our
See my
evolution
problem
around it?
here?
See, decay
See my
does
problem.
not mean destruction.
We're joined by
Decay is
Logan.
death.
He's a quiet dick. Silent but dickly.
thought you were about to say dickless.
Alright, continue, Berit.
Yeah. So, but if you look at it from the standpoint that decay is just the theoretical death of an object, it is the decomposition of it. So, it's the transmutation from one form to another. That's all decay truly is, the release of energy into a different state.
So basically,
What?
Everything is based off of decay. The universe is decayed
which
energy.
is why our brain looks like fucking mushrooms.
In a way. I mean, we're feeding off of
pictured
the
more
constant
spaghetti.
decay of food inside our body to power it. I mean, we're literally...
I meant the inside of the brain, you fucking dick.
Oh.
The rest of it looks like spaghetti, yeah. But like,
What?
I mean, really, it looks more like your brain from the outside looks like a fucking thing of ground beef.
Whose brain?
And the chunkier the grind it looks like, the fucking smarter you're supposed to be, I
You
guess.
just brought back a very mental image of this not even an hour ago when I was cooking spaghetti.
Hey. Your fucking nervous system looks like spaghetti.
I guess every
Me
day I
and Maya
technically
go
look
back
up brains.
inside. We've already talked.
You're gonna take that fucking.
Alright, so Berit, you
So
were
why'd you
talking
shoot
about everything
Huh?
on Earth is just decayed energy.
Basically, yeah. State of consciousness just was created from aligned energy waves that fucking spontaneously maintained their shape and has thus evolved into what we are.
Who loaded that?
Both of us.
Word. You know which way it goes.
Right at night.
Left at light, right at night. But there's a light right there, so it's left at light.
That light don't count.
It does right now.
Fuck.
What light?
I mean, I could turn it off and we could just not see.
What light did what?
I mean, I could still
See,
see
there's
fine,
one more
so I
person
guess
before the
that's a
longest
personal
me
problem.
now. You're not loaded. No, I'm just kidding.
There's no what? What?
You missed the whole thing.
What did I miss?
No.
I saw reading about who should get the bong next.
I was thinking he was gonna pass it to you. Do what?
Oh.
So I'm about to let Lucifer out so you can see what it's like.
To get fucked up outside?
Is that what it is?
And?
It's gonna fucking
What flavor is this? The spearmint one?
Who?
I love this one.
Who is?
Lucifer, the white cat with the big old
Thank
blue
you.
on its neck.
Who's gonna fuck who up?
Huh? No, Lucifer's fucked up. He's got his fucking neck all fucking
Well, that's
raw
not
and
good.
shit.
Well, I put
The little white one?
A&D on it.
Too bad for-
On there and a fucking patch.
You gonna hit it?
Too bad for meals.
Look at this motherfucking beetle looking motherfucker.
It's a Beatles.
Say,
Or
peace
God
and love,
damn it, no,
peace
it's a
and love,
Beatles.
peace and love.
I'm trying to say Beatles, but you got me saying Beatles.
Beatles.
Motherfucker.
The Beatles.
I like coffee.
My name
Yeah.
is Beelzebub, but my friends they call me
We're
Beatles.
joined by Furby, my wife.
What's it?
You want some Disaronno?
Is it a cleat and a
Want
line
some
together?
No. No, wife.
How do you say quiet?
Like with an H. Like
Not my buddy,
WHIFE.
guy.
Always gotta offer the lady of the house one.
I decent. I usually drink chocolate on ice.
I usually
I like
just
mixing
drink
it with
I
Dr.
don't
Pepper.
have it.
Oh, it's that fancy.
I like mixing it with Dr.
Taps
Pepper.
usually when I buy it.
That is also
I'm gonna be one of those people.
What do you say? Milk?
One of
Dr. Pepper.
Oh.
Milk is good
So
too.
I'm gonna
though.
be one of those people.
One who?
You're so goddamn hot. How you guys out here?
Well,
I'm in there dying when the fan gets turned off.
we're not in very close vicinity. You're also right next to the AC, which is blowing hot air out.
What the fuck?
I'm trying to replace things. It's just
I get
cherry.
it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's cherry.
Like maraschino cherries.
I did not expect that. I expected a
you
straight
never had
punch
that
of
before?
whiskey
Oh,
or
it's great.
something. Like,
No, it's
No, it's straight.
an
punch of cherry.
amaretto, which it ain't straight cherry. It's cherry and almond.
That makes sense.
It's a
almond?
That would be
almond.
that would be why I like it so much.
Yeah, you gotta
No, dude, the cream soda Dr. Peppers and Disaronno,
Cyanide.
fucking amazing.
Not always correct. There's actually a
Should've
proper amount of
tried it out,
time that
yeah.
you're supposed to leave almonds to sit that allows the cyanide to stay, so it doesn't fuck it. That's how you
That's
can
also why they
safely-
roast them.
Yeah, that too. The roasting is done after the sitting process.
It cooks the leftover cyanide out.
Yep.
Apple seeds, though.
Apple seeds, it's enough of them could
sorry,
kill
about
you.
pocketed your lighter there, Berit. Did you ever finish your fucking theory?
I don't remember.
We were on
exactly.
life on Earth at this point. How it was just decayed energy.
Yeah, decayed energy. Thought form became from meshes of energy that kind of just interwove themselves into consciousness over time. That's
so
the
essentially,
spontaneity is the sole reason why we haven't encountered another sentient race yet. It's because they're spread out so far due to the random chance of it all.
I mean,
at least
is it really so random, or is it more like this had to have been intentional?
No, it was
like what
intent without intent. Intent without intent.
Okay.
Things
so
exist.
Controlled chaos, essentially.
No. Chaos in its truest form. Freedom to exist as it wishes to exist.
Well, that's interesting.
Which is what we're not getting in this fucking country.
Yeah.
I was about to say something similar.
Dude, say it, bro. It's the fucking podcast.
No, like,
we say whatever we fucking
I couldn't
want.
figure out how to fucking word it, and you just fucking already say it. It's like, okay.
So what?
I'm just saying what everybody's thinking. That's
like,
what we do on this fucking show. Essentially, we are the universe
He
experiencing
started off
itself.
like, you know,
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I caught from that.
Yeah.
We came from fucking energy just bouncing off of itself, kind of in a patty cake motion, but more random than that.
Pong.
I mean, in a way,
Pong.
all of life in existence almost exists like the dice that I hold in my hand at
Speed
the
of
moment.
slow light.
This die is made out of frozen lightning, essentially. Lightning that struck sand and turned to glass.
I want to see it. I've never held fucking lightning glass before.
Fulgurite.
Yeah, that's what
Frozen lightning. That's...
Yeah, hence why my phone is missing. There it
It's
is.
so cool. You can see like the fucking patterns of electricity that fucking made it.
You can almost feel the pulsation of leftover remnants of that
The
magnificent
energy.
bolts of everything.
Supposedly the air around the lightning bolt is 10 times hotter than the sun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like that's got a lot of residual energy from that for sure. Like that's fucking primordial shit.
It reminds me of the power orbs from Wild Force Power Rangers.
Let me see it. Oh, dude.
Welcome to the podcast where we're fucking still off topic.
Still
So
extremely off topic.
Lucas, what are your thoughts on the fucking beginning of the universe? Tell us, Loki.
Science history, unraveling the
dude.
mystery.
Alright, this sounds like it's gonna be fun.
Man,
Why
man,
would
the
you-
very, very beginning of the universe probably be, you know, like birth, man. Like some sort of, but it probably wouldn't have been.
I'm gonna have to ask you to speak into the microphone. Phone.
Would have had to have been like a lot longer, man. I'm just talking about like the absolute creation of like the first thing, man. You think that would have come after the first process or the first? I do believe before that it's like nothing, probably.
We've had to move the phone, the microphone.
That was the thing they did in Scooby-Doo. No, sit down. What? You sit down.
You're explaining your thoughts on the origins of the universe.
Why here?
Because that's part of the podcast.
That's what we're doing for this episode. It's episode 2, honey.
The beginning's probably not the best.
What? Okay.
Are you talking about the beginning? Because there's no real beginning.
What's your
It's
theory?
My theory is it's some sort of spiral within a spiral within a spiral.
Okay. And then what?
Elaborate.
It's just been like that. I don't know.
life is nothing but a downward spiral that leads to another
I think
downward
he's fried
spiral.
himself too many times.
Why do you
He's
assume
taken
it's
too many
downward?
psychedelics, but he'll be okay.
He says to go upward.
Who says it's going anywhere specific? I mean, spiral doesn't have to happen up
Oh,
or
yeah,
down.
you can spiral
Right,
out
but
of control.
Our galaxy is a spiral. It's the Milky Way galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
And well, the pictures of it that you see on the internet aren't actually pictures of the Milky Way. It's pictures of the spiral galaxy. Can we just pick it from the microphone? I'm making a repeat what of myself? Self.
Holy fuck.
We're doing a what?
Okay.
Maybe not.
Secret societies in Bohemian Grove.
Alright, I'm actually not.
People are real.
I'm trying to remember Bohemian Grove specifically.
It's
Like,
where a bunch of rich fucks go and do some kind of fucking burning of the owl statue fucking ceremony or whatever the fuck they do.
okay, so
It's like that one movie.
weird,
where the
like
people
Illuminati,
vacation
skull and
on
crossbones kind of fucking bullshit.
What? Bohemian Grove, man. Nobody knows what they do there.
Well, yeah, that's
every
what-
time somebody gets a camera in there, they're like, "Hey, give me that."
That's
You
why I
know,
said
like-
some weird Illuminati, like skull and
Yeah,
crossbone
that's
society
basically what it is.
bullshit.
It's
Like,
basically like members of families who have been known to like have rumors about them that ties them to the Illuminati. You know, like the Kennedys and the fucking Jeffrey Epstein. Just all kinds of like known fucking rich pedophiles and shit. You know, like I don't know if the Kennedys were actually pedophiles, but I know fucking Epstein definitely was. Try and stop me, government, dude. He didn't kill himself.
That's like all he displayed in my head. I'm about to
Why'd the
drop
cameras
all
go
these
off?
Oh,
those
hit this?
things.
Why'd the cameras go off?
why do you want to hit this?
Who turned the cameras off?
Because it's probably worse.
Anyway, man, these
it's
secret
not that.
societies, man, they actually exist. Like, there's no way that they don't. With how
Yeah.
many
I
rumors
thought it
there
was
are.
better, but you know now
And
it's
between
just,
that and the
it's
actual
like-
footage of Bohemian Grove that has been put on the internet, whether you surf the dark web or just the regular fucking surface web, you'll be able to find videos of Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
I mean, they're shitty, grainy, fucking like old videos, but like, you know, you got to do what you got to do to fucking really like tune into the fucking secrets.
Yeah. I feel you on that.
There's probably a small fucking like low pixel camera, you
Oh.
know, easy to conceal, kind of
Yeah.
like. I don't know.
Well,
I
these
wouldn't
days
know.
they-
It wasn't me. Like, I'm fucking 23. This shit probably fucking surfaced fucking in the 90s.
I mean, these days they make a camera the size of your thumbnail that can record in full 4K.
Yeah, but like
So,
back when this shit was recorded, I mean, you could definitely tell it was like
yeah.
real itty bitty, like fucking small pixels. So like when it's blown up onto like a fucking HD screen, you can tell that it's like really old. Like really old considering how far we've come since the 90s
Yeah.
in our camera technologies. But I mean, they did have cameras that small back then. They had fucking big ass cameras that looked like phones that were portable.
Yep.
Running in the 90s.
Do you have anything
Got my
to
camcorder
offer
on
here?
to go.
This is what I get for inviting the dumbest, smartest people that I know. We're somewhere between music references and fucking just really intelligent conversation. So, Logan,
I still believe.
should I
that-
call you Coolaid? Yeah, I'm gonna call you Coolaid.
I
Hey,
mean,
Coolaid.
oh yeah. Look,
Fucking-
another cat.
That's Mitten.
Oh.
She's a bitch. Actually, she's really
So
cool.
I think the spiral
Okay,
started
so
from,
how do you? What are your
perceive
things
as gravity? I think
about
it
the
was before
origins of
that.
the
Yeah,
universe?
they're on a
man?
different topic right now.
Before we fucking really go into this fucking grove, just tell me.
I don't know anything. Energy colliding and bang.
Pretty much the same fucking thing. Okay. All right, Bohemian Grove. So what the fuck goes on at Bohemian Grove? What do you think, man? Because if Jeffrey Epstein was in a list of people who fucking went to this fucking pedophile ring, and he was going to give that list, but then he got killed, what the fuck happened?
The universe is moving
Fucking,
back and forth, and then one day somebody said something.
What do you
So
say?
like,
It's probably
is that
like,
what Bohemian
hello?
Grove is? Are they actually sacrificing kids? Like, are they like stuffing them into this giant owl?
Well, I
Because
mean,
like
there's been...
in the video, this giant owl screamed.
Or maybe not.
Have you seen the video? The giant owl screamed when they were fucking burning it.
I have not.
So like, was that the screams of the children that they fucking packed into this giant owl?
I forgot what it's called, but there is one religion where
Are
there's
they
like...
sacrificing kids?
Possibly.
Is that what's
If you
going
let
on?
me fucking talk, I actually have something smart to contribute.
Okay, go for it, man.
Ish, smart-ish, but I forgot what it's
We're all
called. But there's
smart-ish.
actually this other religion that like they all basically have their own society, almost like the Amish, to where like once a month or something they'll take basically like straws, you know, like they could be fucking 10 years old, they could be an elderly, you know, they'll take like 10 people and or probably more than. I don't know, but it's like a small group of people, and then they fucking burn them like some giant statue to like appease their god or some shit, so that way they can live peaceful lives.
Okay. So like, basically just people who live completely off the grid. And
But
like,
they burn people in a giant statue like it's Burning
human
Man.
sacrifice in their religions. So
Through a giant fire.
So the sacrifice by fire has been a thing since Mesopotamia. Really, it was the thing that really set us apart from the other cavemen when we
Still
started
goes on
advancing.
to today too. More like
when we were
European areas.
Neanderthals, I believe, is when we discovered fire.
Something like that.
That's
Look how
weird.
big she is.
Well, there's evidence to support those theories, though,
Breeding and hunting.
and it's evidence you can go and see yourself. These aren't like spots that are fucking blocked off from people. There's like rails guarding all of the fucking like art and shit.
Yeah.
That cat's an asshole.
But no, like there's like caves that are like in France and shit that have like cave drawings and whatnot that match almost perfectly some of the cave drawings found in other parts of the world of these like fucking elven fairies that like only came to them when they ate mushrooms and shit. Ethan told me about this shit. Believe it or not. He showed me pictures.
Have you heard the song Fairies Dance?
By whom?
Oh fuck. I think it's, I want to say almost Mastodon, but
That doesn't. I mean, it almost sounds like a Mastodon title, but like, it sounds more like a Halloween title. Like Halloween?
Tungsten.
Tungsten. What are you tugging? And who's Sten?
I'm not Misfit, I'm not shaking. And stop calling me Shirley.
Airplane. Nice. I like that movie. And don't call me Shirley. That's the same guy that did, the leader of Team America. He proved his loyalty to this team
Actually, you should not do
by
that.
sucking my cock. Yeah, we don't want to get a copyright strike.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
I think we got the allotted time that we're allowed.
Nice catch.
Yeah, because normally you gotta have like 20 minutes or longer.
20 seconds or longer.
Oh, what?
Yeah, copyright claims suck ass.
Oh, copyright claim. I thought you
can
meant,
play
never
like
mind,
you
yeah.
can, like we're running on fan contributions right now, and we have like 4 fans. I think it's just the people that are sitting here.
I haven't subscribed to shit, so at least
Same.
one of them.
You can find it on Spotify and YouTube.
See, I thought it was going to Spotify.
Still not gonna subscribe to shit. I'm a part of it.
At least subscribe to the Hippie Games YouTube channel.
Maybe. I
So
think
you
I might
can get
actually already
notifications
do.
as to when they fucking upload. Subscribe to us on Spotify and Anchor. And fucking give us weed money, please.
In return, we'll show you our cocks.
Maybe not.
Visit
I
Coolaid's
don't know.
OnlyFans.
How'd you know?
Because you said it so openly.
That'll be a great outro right there.
Yeah, no. We still going though. We got more shit in
We're
store.
still blowing.
You're
What
gay.
else do we
So,
got?
I mean, we never
You guys
did
want
get
to
a.
talk about psychedelics?
I was gonna say we never did get around to actually talking about what do we think's going on. We just sat there asking what the fuck's going on.
What the fuck is going on?
You know?
I mean, yeah, you're right. You're
What
right.
isn't going
Like,
on?
So,
what's
like-
the point in asking a question if we're not at least going to discuss potential answers?
Okay.
Well, we've
Okay.
discussed.
I've spit a few potential answers.
Yeah.
We're still talking about Bohemian Grove, right?
Yeah, like what's going on in there? Like, you know, I was actually going to contribute a little bit of scientific side to it. Recent research has begun to wonder if consuming the blood of the young actually can extend your life due to the presence of dormant stem cells and stuff like that. Yeah, see, I was waiting for it to get back around so I could actually talk for a second on that.
Sorry, Lucas.
Because, you know, that is one of those theories that you can't deny. Like, sure, they might be doing something with the children afterwards, but...
Sorry, I didn't mean to blow my cigarette smoke in your face.
Yeah.
That's really
Can I have one of
unfortunate.
those?
Yeah. You sound like a
But-
kid in a candy shop. Hell
To the
yeah, you
candy
can. man.
shop.
But yeah, like,
Yeah, just.
There's- there was a report that I had read a little while back that was actually talking about the
Throw it
fact that
What is it?
just
Cat ran out through.
the act of infusing young blood, which, as long as it's a matching type and everything, won't,
Yeah.
you know, be rejected, and
Which
could revitalize
I
the
wouldn't
cells
pick
and
that up.
organs of
would
the
be
transverse
why
body.
certain kids become potential targets.
Because especially if they have lengthened telomerase, which is the exact thing in your genetics that determines how quickly you age. So if the correct combination of blood type,
shit.
genetics, telomerase construction,
So with all these like facial construction apps and shit that they're like putting out and whatnot, like
they might be going through
determining how you age, or what are they fucking doing?
Hey,
like,
buddy, smoke that.
like, are they monitoring
on
that
the
shit? I mean, they kind of
Very
have to be. The
smoky, very
NSA
possibly.
fucking monitors pretty much
I don't
everything
know
that
what
goes
it was
across the
on,
internet.
man. I'm not even.
Not to mention the
smoking.
fact that they're developing AI programs that can be used to determine someone's origin just
I don't
based off
trust
of their
you.
facial
Holy
construction.
shit!
Like, we're talking potentially going back
Man.
hundreds to thousands to hundreds of thousands of
What you
years.
doing?
So, I mean, these kids come out of like heavily populated cities. Usually, like Ohio has a lot of fucking heavily
Yeah,
populated
you
cities.
know,
They have a lot of airports and shit, as far as I
Somewhere
know, and that's where all
where-
the cameras are. And the fucking what is it called? The TSA.
yeah, the
They-
people who
the
run the
fucking
airport security.
Yeah, they have cameras fucking everywhere in there,
Yeah,
which all goes to the government. It's a government association.
yeah, and you've got numerous government buildings, secure buildings, not to mention any potential, you know,
So-
street cameras, shit like that. That all gets
So-
reported to the police, which
Oh
then
my
gets
God.
reported back to federal organizations
Holy
like the
shit.
FBI,
So
CIA, for
they're
intelligence reasons.
fucking. They could be very well be scanning us to see like our blood type and shit.
Yeah,
Like, wow.
they.
Is the government run by vampires?
I mean, who's to say it's vampirism?
They do it to undead.
I mean,
I
you're-
mean,
you're
in
right.
a way,
Well, I
they
mean,
could just based
monetary vampirism.
off of, it could be monetary vampirism. It could be, you know, sexual vampirism. You know, sanguine.
By monetary, do you mean like Daywalkers and Blade?
That's funny. We were just watching Blade. The first three of them. They're really awesome.
There's only 3.
There's 4.
Nice.
But
What
yeah,
happens if I do this?
Nothing happens
You sure?
unless you believe something happens, other than you turning your hands. Dude, that was like a whole fucking like 3 lines we could have just done.
How odd. What you doing?
Recording a podcast. What are you doing?
got a point. That's why we're all here today.
I got a point and I can roll a joint.
Do you got the papers?
I got a paper, but I just inside.
Well, then you can't roll one yet.
That's not necessarily true. And empty out one of these tubes and stuff some weed up in it and then tear the fucking filter off.
Fair enough. But yeah, so like, it's possible that part of what's going on in this Bohemian Grove is actually the research and or completed research of lengthening the lifespan of
We're
a
about to
select
get a-
few.
We're about to get a 5-minute warning, so that's the end of this fucking segment here soon.
So it only an
It'll
hour
be
at a
okay.
time.
We can just continue. You can just fucking stack segments on.
Gotcha.
On the app, it only goes up to an hour.
Gotcha.
So
Yep,
that's
there's.
fucking kind of wicked.
Yeah, so 5 minutes left.
I can fucking.
I think we can wrap up this topic.
I can just add some fucking music to this and like, fucking continue on like Seinfeld type shit. Oh, dude, this app is the shit. I'm gonna stop talking about it in like 2 episodes, but
Hey, we gotta at least rep it for the first few. It is a pretty cool app so far. But, yeah.
we came from a condensation of energy, which fucking developed human life, which fucking human life decided to be really shitty and fucking form these secret societies that are possibly draining the blood of the innocent.
Which
For
if
what
you-
purposes, we have no idea.
I mean, if you look back all the way to
Yeah, I
ancient
mean,
rites
they've been-
of consuming blood and shit like
what was
that,
what was the queen's name? That fucking bathed in the blood
Oh,
of
Bathory.
virgins.
if I remember right, that was...
That was Mary something or other, I thought, where the term Bloody Mary came from.
No, that's Bloody Mary, Queen of Scots.
Yeah.
Yeah, she bathed in the blood of the young.
Oh, there was also the Countess Bathory who did the same shit.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not... That's happened a few times throughout history.
Yeah.
So,
like,
yeah, we've got crazy secret
we've
societies.
gone from doing it out in the open because we're crazy to doing it in secret because we're crazy.
And the whole time when they were consuming the blood of young and beautiful people, it was because it was supposedly to revitalize their youth. Yeah, think about that, people. Not only has this been a long practiced tradition, it's possible that science is confirming it at this moment. What the fuck's going on in this universe, we don't know, and maybe we'll continue talking about that here in the next segment.
So, Rhaanon might be a vampire.
Cigarette, my dude?
You just smoked one. It's fucking probably got a cat hair in it or something. Here, smoke this one instead.
They all have hair in them.
I don't doubt it because I have cats.
Yeah.
Just smoke the motherfucker if you want to.
Yeah, I need to conserve this for fucking work and shit, man.
I haven't smoked
What
a
you want
single
about
hair.
it?
Fuck you with your tailored cigarettes.
Everything.
No, this isn't real.
You know anything about me?
I need
Fuck
to?
you with your tailored cigarettes.
Nobody thinks anything about anything that's not salt related.
What?
He said it was that line of thinking right there that got you into this mess.
I don't know what line of thinking is going on, man, because we're back.
So, what are we back to this time?
Fucking no!
We ended off talking about some crazy secret society bullshit.
This is the most fucking awesome crew.
Let's give a round of applause for the silent idiot sitting in the corner. Got Coolaid.
The
We've got-
fucking cigarette thief.
We got the fucking host of this bullshit, who is a laughing mess. Rhaanon fucking Havoc, everybody. And then we got fucking Loki's dumbass over here.
What is
Sitting
he
in-
talking about? Is something
Yeah,
around
no-
there. Fucking talking about that
Oh,
dang old.
shit,
Tell
that's
you what,
wood,
man.
man. That's not good either,
About
man.
that dang old.
I don't think anyone knows, including himself. Then we got me, Berit, the duck god.
Quacking away.
For some reason, I'm the most coherent one here.
Oh, I'm pretty coherent,
Hey,
actually.
listen, man.
I'm pretty
I
coherent.
run a
Just like how much you
fucking
see.
Twitch stream called the Cannabismal where I get as lit as possible, and I just sit there and talk about random shit and play video games. I don't know what anybody expects from me. This is why I needed a co-host.
Yep.
What?
Thank you, God.
Yeah, no, I'll be back. This ain't my last venture here.
Fucking...
Fruit salad.
Okay.
So,
I think
yummy,
we
yummy.
actually managed to kind of blow through the main topics on that list.
Well,
let me ask you something, Berit. Why is cannabis important to you?
Oh, man.
In the first episode, I talked about the importance of cannabis in the U.S. and the history of its use.
Yeah, so I guess since I missed out on it.
Go for it, man. Let's talk about that.
Alright, so
We'll go back on some topics, man. It don't have to be fucking final. Nothing's ever closed on this show.
Yeah, so why is cannabis important to me? Man, there's countless reasons, you know. It's been a medicine in my personal life to help deal with various pains from injuries, you know, working construction, doing martial arts, being a generalized idiot. I
have generalized idiot disorder too.
I've impaled myself, damn near cut off fingers, ran a finger into a table saw blade.
Why do I feel like I've been there for like at least half of those?
No, actually.
Or at least after half of those happened.
No.
No?
No, actually, you weren't there for most of them.
my dude.
Most of them either happened at work or by myself. One of them happened at a game night, but that was a D&D
Okay,
one when
think
you
back
weren't
on our
showing up.
childhood.
Oh, no, there were definitely a few injuries.
those
the night we were
impalements
throwing
and
cards at each
injuries.
other?
No. No, the impalement happened before either of you started showing up, or back up in your case, to game night.
Oh.
Back up.
Because I remember
that
hearing
game night?
that. Yeah, it was technically during a D&D session when I impaled myself, but yeah. But that's a different story. Medical marijuana and just marijuana in general is important to me because, you know, it's been a medicine for not only physical but mental ailments. You know, I am a genuine sociopath. And, you know, it's taken a lot of work to control that and become a properly functional and, you know, emotionally coherent individual. And I can't, you know, deny that pot has helped in that growth and adventure into figuring out how to properly understand, comprehend, and express emotion. You know, like...
I'm so happy that there's somebody else on this show who's as literate as I am. Fuck.
Yeah, no, so, beyond even just...
Articulate is what I meant, not literate.
Yeah, beyond just that...
You're all literate.
then-
You can read and
say
write.
something. It's just the louder I say something, the more less sense it makes.
That's not what they mean.
The more sense is what we need, not the volume.
He needs the volume.
No?
I mean, kind of both.
Yeah,
You
like...
need both. He just, I don't know.
Hey, man.
You know, I was originally thinking about calling this show the Bongcast.
Hey, dude.
But...
Excuse me now.
I don't know, the podcast sounded
What
better
even
because
is
it was more like
It's the end of
podcast.
cigarette. But... Yeah,
Without the
so...
butt.
Beyond just like the standard measure of it having helped with my own personal disorders and shit, I've gone to witness firsthand how it'll help deal with chronic pain disorders, chronic fatigue disorders, and, you know, a plethora of other mental, physical, psychological, emotional, every aspect of the human being that can go wrong. I have seen it help in one way or another to smoke cannabis or consume a various cannabis product, whether it be tinctures containing oils of THC and CBD and, you know, the various other cannabinoids. All of them have beneficial effects in some capacity. You know, it can help you sleep when you're...
Is it CBA? CBA has properties that fight cancer.
Yeah,
They destroy cancer cells and actually target where the cancer is coming from to eventually destroy the tumor and fucking stop your body from producing the cells if you take large amounts of just CBA.
Yeah, if I remember right, CBG affects the neuroreceptors to allow you to actually think more cognitively, which, you know, a lot of people
helps
would...
fight, CBG helps fight brain cancer.
Yeah, because it's helping restore those pathways in there so the brain's more fit to actually fight back because it's got a better sense of what's complete.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of those things.
Cannabis is such an amazing plant.
It is. I mean, you have...
They can isolate these chemicals too, and just extract those.
I mean, the insane part about it is the fact that when you do a deep dive into human anatomy and the deeper functions of the human body, you end up encountering the endocannabinoid system. The human body has a system entirely...
Your dopamine receptors are shaped just like the ends of fucking THC molecules.
Yeah, the trichomes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's shaped like a trichome. It's weird. Everything kind of does connect back, and, you know, if you look at certain aspects of the Bible, one of the things that has often been removed is mention that God made everything. And with him creating everything, he gave forth a medicine, an herb, that could cure all ailments.
I microdosed mushrooms the other day and went to a therapy appointment.
Hell yeah. I've done MDMA therapy before, and that was pretty revolutionary in helping, like, clear up, you know, issues that I've had with myself.
That was going to be my next question. Have psychedelics in general just been helpful for you?
Man, there have been points where
have they ever been hurtful for you?
I think there's definitely been points where they've done both, because there's been a point where my brain flat out had to tell me, hey, if you continue to do this, you're going to fuck yourself up. But at the same time, each interaction with them does seem to open up a new potential perception of things, you know? It doesn't necessarily change the way I think, but it allows me to change the way I think.
Right.
You know,
it allows you to see life from a different view.
Yeah, I don't have to...
It doesn't make you just see random shit. It also makes you, like, make contact with UFOs and aliens by chemically changing your carbon vibration.
But...
that was kind of cool. Yeah. That wasn't what I meant at all. I was just reading that shit out loud. Hey, is there an obvious plant logo on there?
No. So,
okay.
the I guess further point is, two of my experiences, I guess, have been the ultimate, like, separation points in my experience of broadening my perceptive range. There was, I think it was my second time doing acid. It was like 2 hits of triple dip acid. I was off my fucking rockers. The other 2 people present did not know that I had taken a second hit.
Oh.
So they were sitting there like, yo, are you fucking good? And I'm sitting there like, yo, I took another hit.
My adventures in general on acid have been kind of, just godly doses, man.
Yeah.
Just subliminally fucking, like, what is wrong with you?
Oh yeah, no, I've
like,
come to realize mine as well.
You've probably fucking been there for some of those trips where I'm like, hey, look at this. This is like 3 hits, 4 hits, nom.
Oh yeah, no, I do that shit frequently. Like, that's my issue with it.
Or like fucking, hey, look, a 10 strip, nom.
I don't think I've ever done a small dose of acid, surprisingly.
1 or 2 hits for me is a small dose. It's also got to do with my body weight and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, for you, a 10 strip would probably make you go off for a fucking week, whereas...
I mean, I've done the equivalent of 9, and it was about 14 hours for me.
It also depends on how fast you metabolize it.
I have an inhumanly fast metabolism. I can eat as much as I want.
I have a slow metabolism, but I can still eat as much as I want. It just slowly converts into muscle over time.
Mine doesn't wait. It just condenses.
It's kind of at the same rate that I absorb it, so I've just kind of developed this really dense muscular system that exists under a layer of fat.
Yeah, no, I just don't have that layer of fat. My metabolism is fast enough to not allow that fat to generate, just leaving the muscle.
Basically, you're the rogue and I'm the fighter.
But
every time.
Yeah, so my experiences that have broadened my perception when it comes to hallucinogens, one of them, you know, I'd done 2 hits of some really strong acid, and I was sitting there with some people, and they started bringing up things that honestly I didn't want to know about them. It was things that I felt best I didn't need to know, so instead, it seemed like the universe offered me an escape. It opened up the corner of the room, so instead of noticing them...
Oh shit, you got into an uncomfortable situation and your brain said, look...
It said, here's the universe, here's everything that exists.
Oh yeah.
Here's the entirety...
You had the fucking DMT fucking experience that happens sometimes when your brain is reacting to LSD. Certain strains will make your brain act like it's dying, and it will release this fucking huge flush of DMT, and it fucking like blasts you off into the universe. I've had it happen before. Okay,
yeah,
it's because of the fungus that it grows on, that LSD comes from, the ergot fungus. Have you ever heard of St. Mary's fire?
Yeah.
The ergot fungus causes that.
Oh.
It makes you hallucinate really hard, and it gives you a really bad fever, and it gives you a fucking rash all over your body. The hallucinations come from the LSD that's in it. You have to find a way to isolate the LSD, and sometimes you don't completely isolate it.
Yeah.
And so you get a little bit of that going on, and your brain's like, hey, guess what?
Yeah, so I guess I had that blast-off moment, and I had this moment of absolute clarity while staring out into the expanse of everything, where it made me realize where I am and who I am. It allowed me to perceive myself, because as the previous episode mentioned,
you had a DMT trip from tripping on acid.
Yeah, we're reflections of the eternal chaos.
And it felt like 1,000 lifetimes, right?
Not really. It felt like my own existence.
So
it didn't need to be 1,000 lifetimes.
With DMT, though, it feels like you're living it back out,
well,
but you're also sitting there in the same spot for 5 minutes, and you know that. So like the thing is a DMT trip feels like 500 years, but like when it's acid induced, sometimes you can just come right out of it, and sometimes you're just like, wow, and then you start to come down, and it starts to wear off.
So I guess let me further explain how it felt in that moment, because it felt more like I was outside of time. It didn't feel like 1,000 lifetimes. It didn't feel like any span of time.
Well, that's just the general explanation that people provide. But I've had the DMT trip where I've been outside of time before.
It was instantaneous yet expansive.
Have you ever just smoked straight DMT?
No, I haven't gotten a chance to yet. It's on my bucket list.
Let me tell you a thing or two, man. If your brain reacts to it, which yours probably does, considering you had that kind of reaction, it fucking... You have that trip where you're like standing outside of time, and you're just like looking at yourself, and like sometimes it throws you into a timeline, and you're living it out for a short time. Like you're like jumping from reality to reality.
Well, that's the thing, is I think you should let me finish, because there is still more to the experience I had. When I was experiencing it, being outside of time, looking at the universe, it was like I was looking at a reflection of myself. It wasn't like... It was pretty much me standing alone in myself. It was an existence where I could tell that I am all that I am, and everything is what I am.
So it was a very, it was one of those karmatic...
Getting intense, making me tired.
Not karmatic, fucking goddamn it, what's the word I'm looking for? Dharmatic. It was like you realize your dharma. The Hindus, that's what the Hindus call it. Basically, it's the realization of how small you truly are and how insignificant life can be, but
at the same time,
it's so fucking... The off chance that it would ever happen and you get to experience it is just wow.
You're a massively
It was the inner reflective, humanizing trip.
Yeah.
It's the humbleness of the universe.
Yeah, it really made me step back and realize who I am to the universe.
Yeah, my DMT trips were like that.
Yeah, I got that off of my
My first DMT trip, though, the first time that I smoked DMT, I saw these fucking, like, the elven creatures, like, from the fucking cave drawings that I was talking about, you know? And fucking, they were like, hey, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here yet. Hi. I hope that was important. Fucking, but yeah, man, they were like, hey, you're not supposed to be here yet. And I'm like, what do you fucking mean I'm not supposed to be here yet? I came here, didn't I? And they were like, yeah, but you kind of like forced your way in. And I'm like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, they say the DMT particle finds you. All I had to do was fucking be friends with a guy who happened to fucking sell the shit.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm like, alright, fuck you guys then, I'll be back. Whenever it's time for me to be back. And so my second DMT trip, I went there and they weren't there. I was like, what the fuck, you know? It was the same place. I could tell it was the same place. But they just weren't there.
Alright. Yeah, that... I don't know, I haven't done DMT yet fully, I guess, so... Haven't had any experiences like that, but... One of my...
Excuse me, you ever do DMT?
my...
This isn't the Joe Rogan experience, man.
My other strange, perceptually broadening experience was...
Not
tripping,
even trying to be.
tripping on Molly, surprisingly.
Okay.
So I had been using it for MDMA therapy at that point. Like,
I was using it to party. I want to have a party.
I'd done it with the sole intent of trying to use it for therapeutic reasons, and successfully did so. Actually, like that was the nice part about it. But
MDMA does have therapeutic properties.
Yeah, but in the height of it, I was tripping balls. Me and my friend had decided to walk across town for a little bit, and while I was walking, the road turned into a Damascus pattern.
I'm not familiar with that.
So, you know, like,
like
the water pattern on steel.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I was going to say the water pattern on steel. That's exactly what I was going to say. Fuck you, man. You're getting out of my head.
I mean, that's the literal translation of it.
We are all just the fucking universe experiencing itself. We are all just fucking water patterns on some steel.
But,
I like the look of galvanized steel better.
I like Damascus myself, but that's beside the point. Yeah, the road had got that pattern, and I was sitting there like, yo, I wasn't ready for this. Like, I didn't know that I'd be tripping my dick off right now. I thought, like, you just told me this was gonna be some, like, you know, I'm really happy, everything feels great, all my thoughts are like, woo! But no, I was sitting there flat tripping at the time. It was kind of intense. So we go back to my house. I'm sitting there in front of the fan. He goes to get some water and shit. And while I'm sitting there alone, my brain is just like, hey, you know, to understand reality, first you have to strip away your perception of reality and view existence itself.
Yes.
So
I love
upon
psychedelic therapy of all kinds.
Well, upon realizing this, I also realized that what we perceive as reality is basically just a shirt, something that you can remove on and off. Like, you can take it off, put it back on, change it. It's not what you think it is. It's just another piece of clothing that we wear to prevent us from truly experiencing how we exist.
So,
and a lot of these become fabricated by people who want control, so we all think the same. We don't get to exist differently as we do.
I listened to a lot of Ram Dass, and he explained in one of his lectures that we as people only see what the other person projects. It was his lecture on relationships. Our relationships are only skin deep.
Mm-hmm.
And what that basically means is when you look at somebody, you don't see them for the soul that they are, you see them for the person that they say they are, right? So, I like to think differently, though. I like to think like Ram Dass does, because that's really fucking cool. I do see people for the soul that they are, or I try to anyway.
Yeah.
I try to see the good in everybody, because I do believe that as people, we would want to do what we can to prolong our race, which is be kind to each other, not kill each other. hurt each other. You know,
Thank
it's
you.
like,
That was very interesting there, man.
like I said, man, we're all just the universe experiencing itself, and we don't fucking see past what the other person projects. And it's very strange. Like, I see it in my friends, you know, I see the kind person or the kind people that they are, you know, and it's like we're all just the same. We all think the same. He also said that you surround yourself with people who think similarly to you. Like, if you project outwardly that you're an abused child, you're going to identify with people who also identify as abused children, and that's who you're going to surround yourself with. What the fuck happened here?
You know, that's the weird thing is I don't project that.
I don't project it either. I try not to anyway.
I was gonna say you do more than you realize. Like
well,
I was
mean,
also on the inside to see a lot of it.
If I drink heavily, it's a little different.
But like,
I was actually diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder. Well, it's not an official diagnosis yet, but my therapist said he can diagnose me with it because I meet all of the criteria for it. I have moments where I black out and don't remember a goddamn thing. I say and do shit that is uncharacteristic of me. Like, take this for example. I really love Dr. Pepper. It's my favorite fucking drink, you know.
Yeah.
Just the Dr. flavor in general. But there's only a few companies that actually do it right, you know. But like, fucking.
It's one hell of a demon, man.
I have moments where I don't remember that I denied fucking ever liking Dr. Pepper, and like I don't want it because it tastes terrible to me at those moments. Apparently, I don't remember them, so I don't believe that they happen. I lash out in rage sometimes. That's not me. I try to be a very peaceful person. I mean, my fucking alias is the Hippie. You know, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you got an alien.
That's not me. Like, I couldn't have done that, you know? I don't hurt anybody or anything.
yeah, no, I mean,
That's good to know at least, you know, like,
yeah,
I can at least rest with that.
I've been there to see a lot of situations in the fucking 10 years that we've been friends.
12.
12 years?
12 years.
Yeah, I guess it was about 10 years old when we first met.
Yeah, you were in 5th grade, I was in 6th grade.
Yeah,
Nice
we
sound, man.
started hanging out around the time that
I was
about
just kind of
12.
hanging out by the door of the entrance to the school because it was recess time right after lunch, and I was just kind of chilling outside.
Yeah.
And you guys walked out, and I said something about your Slayer shirt that you were wearing. I said, "Fucking Slayer!"
Oh,
next time.
yeah.
And you guys stopped and looked at me, and you were like, "Yo, this dude looks like this fool that we know."
Yeah.
And he ended up being the square of the group. I think I remember commenting on that almost fucking immediately.
Yeah, no, but like, you know, I remember seeing kind of some of those moments where, you know, you did slip out of character. You weren't quite the same as usual.
Yeah.
So I
And
guess
I
it
don't
makes...
remember them. I have big chunks of my life that are just like. You ever wake up from a dream where you only remember the start of it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like, I know when I'm about to take over, but like, I don't remember doing it, and I don't remember anything that happens while it's happening. It's like watching a movie of yourself and then completely forgetting about it once it's over.
Oh,
I've kind of been there, but...
Yeah, the podcast is still on. I don't abuse anybody whenever I'm ticked over, but like, I do have violent tendencies when I do, especially towards myself and objects.
Yeah, no, I've seen that.
Speaking of, they started scraping up
Vacuums.
the floors of your old apartment.
Oh yeah? I'm gonna go take a piss on it. I'm gonna go piss on Jessica's doorbell.
But...
I'm not really gonna do that. That would be fucked up.
Do it.
No, because it's a ring, dude. It'll fucking know it's him.
that there's some wild shit that I've gotten to see when it comes down to you. Like, it's definitely been a long road.
That's
like,
part of the reason I chose the name Rhaanon Havoc. I got two parts, Rhaanon and Havoc.
Yeah, but
I was gonna go with Kill Christ,
It's okay.
but Fermi was like, I'm
Chimeras
not
are
taking that. I'm like, okay, don't. Like, I was like, I want my kids to have that name though, and she was like, no. I was like, okay, fine. But no, Kill Christ is my stage name for when I rap. That's like the fucking main personality when I rap, you know.
Oh,
and I've
nice.
got Ill Stunts and the Hunchback. It's been kind of I wouldn't call it a gimmick because I do actually have fucking split personalities. But it's how I've rapped since I was like 13, since I started rapping. I mean, I've had multiple styles that I fucking have mastered, multiple different types of flows that I can use, you know, and it's like, I switch over really easily. It's natural for me, this, like, these days. Ill Stunts and the Hunchback, bitches. Fucking, welcome to the POTcast where we talk about nothing while we smoke weed.
So I guess
Why are you talking about nothing?
our next topic, I guess, could delve deeper into perceptive reality. What is your concept of the difference between reality and existence? Because I guess I've already kind of said mine, you know. Reality is just the filter over existence. to
Okay,
me.
so what we call existence isn't necessarily the fact that we exist, it's knowing that we exist. Knowing that we take up space and expressing that. Existence actually, to me, isn't a dreadful thing, like
Never
it is
said it
for
was.
like it is for a lot of people. You know, there are people who are scared to like get up in the morning and scared to face the day, like, and it's because they know they exist,
That's just me.
and that's like, wow, that sucks. I'm sorry. But if you look at it this way, hey, you get to exist. You get to experience this life that's like 1 in 7 billion. You know, like out of 7 fucking, however many fucking souls there are, you got one. Congratulations. I don't know. It's just an alternate way of thinking, looking at things. You know, reality is that we're all fucked. I mean, either way we look at it, we're all doomed to be underground, turning back into crude oil.
Yeah.
So, like, whatever, man. Live life how you want and perceive reality how you want, man. Like, as a person, I respect people. No matter how they look at things. I don't have to respect their religion. I don't have to sit there and tell them they're wrong either, you know.
Yeah.
As long as they don't want to argue with me about mine, I won't argue with them about theirs. You know, I say I'm a Satanist, but like the truth of the matter is I'm a spiritualist. I believe in the spirit. I believe that we are all connected through the spirit realm.
Good job there.
You know, like
I'm sorry, I wasn't talking to you.
So if we're on the topic of like reality, like what if we're all just like AI? You know, because they say our brains have like basically electricity in them going through the neurons and shit. So like, where does that come from? Where does the electricity come from? Does it come from the ground? Does it come from friction that we experience every day? Like, does it come from like?
Well, I mean, from a scientific aspect, it comes from the contact of minerals like magnesium and potassium with water. Their discharge relief creates heat and shit like that, and that's why they're required for the brain to function.
So when you eat stuff like fish that's high in that kind of shit.
That's why, you know, fish oil, stuff like that's been said to help with brain function.
It does.
Yeah, exactly. So
It also helps with heart function. Your brain
Yeah.
works better, your heart works better, duh.
yeah, everything works better when your electrical signals are working better, because just like a car needs its electrical components to run these days.
My grandparents used to take fish oil supplements, and they would give them to me as well. And we would always eat a lot of fish, and my grandma would always say, it's brain food, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean, you know, like, and she's like, it means that if you eat it, you know, your brain's gonna get bigger. I'm like, does that mean I'm gonna get smarter? Cool, nom 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 nom, here we go, you know. So I love fish now, fucking love fish.
I don't really like fresh fish myself.
I mean, it does depend on the fish for me. I don't like tilapia. That shit's fucking gross, no matter how I cook it. I love fresh tuna. Like, not out of the can, but like the fucking little steaks that you get at Walmart.
Man, why am I here?
I know that's not like super fresh because it comes from the coast and shit, but like, I'll make some fucking, I'll make some ahi.
Oh yeah.
You can literally eat that shit like a steak. You don't have to cook it all the way through. You just have to get it hot enough to kill any parasite that's in the meat.
Yep. Yeah, as long as you cook or get it to the right conditions. Like, there's a few ways to do it, considering that you can acid cook it, you can boil it, par cook it, you can do sous vide. Like, there's plenty of options for cooking it without fully cooking it.
Yeah. I wonder what air fried tuna would taste like.
I don't know. I don't know how well that was.
My little cousin has an air fryer.
So I'm gonna get a message one of these days that was just, dude, that was fucking terrible.
No, we're gonna do it on the podcast.
Oh god.
What are we gonna do on the podcast?
Alright, stay tuned. Next episode we're gonna be trying air fried tuna, I guess.
I don't know about the next episode. Here, stay tuned for the next episode where we ask...
Oh, we already got some ideas for the next
where
episode.
we ask people, how high is so high? And how long would it take you to smoke all the weed in the world? We'll also be talking about MK Ultra and psychedelics. And we will be asking our audience, why is cannabis important to you? Peace and love, everybody. This is the POTcast signing out.
I guess, yeah. Sounds like a wrap to me.
Bro.
Fucking duck got out, y'all.
Peace and love from the hippie.
Like ducks. Yeah, no, hippie.
I just can't focus right now. Motherfucker.
I'll give you something to focus on. You know what focus actually stands for?
Focus through me.
Fuck off, 'cause you're stupid. Peace and love.